Hello young little minds, welcome to another session of All Force e-learning program. I am DNR, your physics lecturer. We are doing with chapter called vectors. Now today we will take up the multiplication of a vector, right? Now in this one there are four cases: multiplication of a real number to a vector, multiplication of a scalar to a vector, multiplication of a vector to a vector. In this one again there are two cases: to yield a scalar and to yield a vector. So we will take them individually, right? So for today our topic is multiplication of a real number to a vector. Now what happens when a real number is multiplied to a vector? So before going to that, let's have a recall of what we have studied in the earlier classes, the basic things what are required to understand today's topic also. Well, I was telling you physics is a subject of measurement. Physics, when you measure, you get a physical quantity. Every physical quantities are of two types: scalars, vectors. Scalars are just mere numbers with no significant direction. They have just value, magnitude and unit. Even sometimes there are no units for scalars also, right? But they have got no significant direction. Even if they possess direction, they do not obey the laws of vectors, hence they are scalars. Well, vectors are the quantities which possess both magnitude and direction, and they obey the laws of vector addition. The previous session we have taken the laws of vector addition, right? Commutative law, associative law, distributive law. The vectors must obey the laws of vector addition. Then only any physical quantity which obeys these laws are said to be called as vectors. Well, later we have represented a vector by three methods of representation. Then types of vectors. Then later addition of vectors. Addition of vector, two methods: analytical method, graph method. In analytical method, we have taken how do you find the resultant by the cosine rule, right? Then we have even taken up the sine rule, that is Lami's theorem, its applications, equilibrium law, so on and so forth. Now today let us study addition, subtraction. We have taken the addition of vectors, subtraction of vectors, its illustrations, combinations, all that. Now today we will study what happens when a real number is multiplied to a vector. Let me consider a vector a bar. Let there be a vector a bar, right? Now to this vector I am multiplying a real number k, right? Multiplying a real number k. Then this will yield another vector a dash bar. This yields another vector a dash bar. Whenever you multiply a vector with a real number, this yields another vector a dash bar, such that the magnitude of a dash bar is k times the magnitude of a. The magnitude of a dash bar will be k times the magnitude of a. That is, its magnitude changes k times. Suppose if k is greater than 1, magnitude increases. If k is less than 1, magnitude decreases. So according to the value of k, according to the k, the magnitude will differ. Then, so that is mod a dash bar, the magnitude will be k times the magnitude of a bar. If k is greater than 1, implies then magnitude of a dash bar will be greater than mod a. If k is less than 1, then magnitude of a dash bar will be less than mod a. Well, k is 1, same, no difference. Now, how about the direction? Direction is, if k is positive number, k is plus. If k is greater than 0, positive, then a dash bar is k times a bar. This is positive and this is same. So a dash bar will have the same direction as a bar. A dash and a bar will have same vector, same direction. So a dash bar and a bar will be parallel or like vectors. There are parallel or like vectors. If k is greater than 0, positive. If it is positive, then this is positive, this is also positive. A dash will be same that of a bar. So whatever direction A bar will possess, A dash also will have same direction. So both will be in same direction. They are same in the same thing. They are collinear vectors. They will be collinear vectors. Parallel vectors are like vectors. Well, same direction. The unit vector of A dash bar will be same as the unit vector of A bar. The direction is same. Unit vector is used to specify the direction. So since they are in same direction, their unit vectors will be same. Right? So unit vectors will be identical. Magnitude A dash bar, unit vectors are same. Why? Because it is, what is unit vector? A dash by mod A dash bar. This is A bar by mod A. Look here, mod A dash bar is K times A. Ka by K mod A, K cancel, it is same as this. Suppose if I take unit vector of A dash bar, so what is A dash bar? It is K times A bar by what is the magnitude of A dash bar? It's K times mod A bar, K cancel, unit vectors are same direction. Well, if K is positive, A bar and A dash bar both will be in same direction. They are like vectors, parallel, and they are along the same line, collinear vectors. That is, suppose if A bar is given like this is A bar, then A dash bar is K times, this is A dash bar, this is K times A bar. For K greater than 1, it is like this. Similarly, for K less than 1, suppose if this is A bar, then A dash bar will be K times A bar, like this, less than 1. For K positive, if A bar is like this, then A dash bar will be in the same direction, K A bar, that is A dash bar. Positive and greater than 1 it is. Right? So both will be in same direction, same parallel like this. Now what happens had it been K less than 0? Now what happens if K is negative? If K is negative, that is K less than 0, then A dash bar is K negative minus K. So it is A dash bar, it is K times A bar. Then if this is negative, then A dash bar will be in opposite direction to A bar. A dash will be opposite in direction to A bar, because if this is plus, this becomes minus. If this is minus, this becomes plus, because this is negative. So the direction is reversed. That is, if A bar is like this, then A dash bar will be in this direction, opposite. Right? So if K is negative, the direction is reversed. Then A dash bar and A bar are anti-parallel. They are anti-parallel vectors. Unlike vectors they are. They become unlike vectors, opposite direction. K negative. So a negative number is multiplied to A bar, then it becomes negative. Minus, direction is reversed. Well, magnitude again changes K times. So if K less than 0, negative, the direction is reversed and the magnitude changes K times. Magnitude is changed K times and direction is reversed. For K greater than 1, magnitude increases K times. For K less than 1, magnitude becomes less than A bar, magnitude will be less. If K is positive, direction remains same, magnitude changes K times. If K is negative, magnitude changes K times and the direction is also reversed. For example, suppose if I take I cap, a unit vector along x-axis, if I multiply 2 I cap, 2, then the vector is 2 times of I. I cap is x direction, 2I, it is like this. Right? So, if I take minus I cap is one vector. If I multiply minus 2I, then this is in this direction, but this will be in opposite direction. So, that way the direction is reversed. So, in this manner, whenever a real number is multiplied to a vector, then what change is produced? When a real number is multiplied to a vector, then it yields at another vector. Always, whenever a real number is multiplied, it yields at another vector. Another vector such that the magnitude becomes K times. Well, if K is greater than 0, then magnitude increases. K is greater than 1, magnitude increases. If K is less than 1, magnitude decreases. So K greater than 1, the new vector will have more magnitude than the earlier vector. If K less than 1, the new vector will have a magnitude less than the earlier vector. Direction remains same. Direction is same. Now if k is greater than 0, positive, then of course magnitude changes k times but direction remains same. Then the vectors are said to be parallel or like vectors, collinear vector. But if k is negative, less than 0, then the vector magnitude changes k times, the direction is reversed, it becomes opposite. So it is anti-parallel or unlike vectors. -2, when I multiply minus magnitude, then the direction is reversed and magnitude changes k times. So that way, whenever a real number is multiplied to a vector, the changes are of this type. This way the changes take place, right? Thank you. Yes, the next case, let us take up the multiplication of a scalar to a vector. Now what if I multiply a scalar to a vector? Well, a scalar of magnitude and a particular unit. I am multiplying a scalar to a vector. Then what happens? Let me consider a vector a bar, to which I am multiplying a scalar s. A scalar s is multiplied to a vector a bar. Then this yields a new vector, another vector a bar. Whenever a scalar is multiplied to a vector, then it yields another vector a bar, a new vector a bar. Example, velocity. When I multiply mass, I get momentum. Well, momentum is a vector. Well, momentum has the same direction as that of velocity, isn't it? Similarly, suppose acceleration into time is v. Force F is equal to mass into acceleration, so on and so forth. So this way, you can multiply a scalar to a vector. Then whenever a scalar is multiplied to a vector, we get a vector. It yields a vector, a bar. This is scalar times that. But you know, because this has got a unit, then the unit of capital A bar will be the product of the unit of this and this. So the physical quantity has changed. In the earlier case, when I was just multiplying a real number, a dash bar is equal to k times a bar. Now in this one, this is a mere number, constant. So the unit of this and unit of this is same. Unit is same, physical quantity remains same. The physical quantity is same, unit is same. Well, magnitude changes k times. If it is negative, direction is reversed. But the quantity, the nature of the quantity does not change. When I multiply a real number, the quantity remains as it is. As it is. Suppose if this is force, this remains force. If it is F, this is 2F, k times. Or if this is acceleration, this is also acceleration. Then the nature of the physical quantity remains same. Only the magnitude is changed. Sometimes if it is less than, if it is k negative, direction is reversed. Right? But in this one, when a scalar is multiplied with a unit, then the quantity itself is changed. Capital A vector is a different physical quantity when compared to small a vector, because this has got a unit. Well, sometimes there are scalars with no units also. In that case, it remains the same. Well, the quantity remains same. If S scalar also has a unit, then capital A represents another vector, another physical quantity. Well, again, so A bar is equal to S times mod A. The magnitude of A bar will be S times the magnitude of A. Well, if this scalar is greater than 1, then again the magnitude increases. Scalar is less than 1, magnitude decreases. Magnitude will be less, right? And if scalar is positive, the direction remains same. Scalar negative, the direction is reversed. Example, force acting on a charge. F is equal to force, electric field into charge. If it is positive charge, the direction of the force and field is same. But if it is a negative charge, electron, minus, so it is minus EQ. Negative charge, electron, then the force is reversed. So that way, if the scalar is negative, scalar itself is negative. Negative scalars can be negative. Negative potential is negative, charge is negative. There is every possibility there. So therefore, if this is negative, the direction is reversed. Magnitude changes S times. If S has units, the quantity itself is changed. So therefore, whenever a vector A bar is multiplied to a scalar, it yields another vector. It yields another vector A bar. where A bar, magnitude of A bar is S times the magnitude of S bar. First case. Is it? Now in this one again, if scalar is greater than 0 implies greater than 1 suppose, then magnitude of A is greater than magnitude of small a. Scalar has a unit, both are different physical quantities. If scalar has no unit, then both will be same physical quantity. Every possibility you should take. For S less than 1, then magnitude of A will be less than magnitude of A. Magnitude is decreased because you are multiplying with a number less than 1. So less than 1 into A, this will be less than A. Magnitude is decreased. Right? If this is having units, these two are different physical quantity. If this S has no units, then these both represent same physical quantity. Magnitude changes. Well, suppose if S is greater than 0, that is positive, S is positive, greater than 0, then mod A will be different from mod A. Mod A not equal to this thing, greater than 0, but direction is same. Direction of capital A bar same as small a bar. For positive value of S, the direction remains same. But if S is negative, then S less than 0 implies magnitude is different and the direction of A bar is opposite to that of small a bar. The direction is reversed. Is it? So for negative, the direction will be reversed. For positive, direction remains same. Well, magnitude changes according to S. Right? Because it's a scalar, if it is having some unit, then the physical quantity itself is changed. If it has no unit, then the quantity remains same. So this way, multiplying a scalar to a vector. What are the examples? The examples you can take like this. Examples. Velocity is displacement by time, or displacement I can write as velocity into time. Well, momentum P is equal to mass into velocity. Force F is equal to mass times acceleration. In this, mass, time are positive. They are always positive. When they are positive, then the direction remains same. These are positive scalars. Mass cannot be negative, time cannot be negative. But sometimes scalar can be negative. F is equal to charge into electric field. If charge is positive, it will be same direction. Charge negative, opposite direction. Charge can be positive or negative. According to that, the force also differs. So this way, sometimes there are vectors which represent opposite this thing also, negative. Then you have to take the opposite thing. So charge scalar is negative, then the direction of the force is opposite to electric field. Direction is reversed. Well, magnitude changes here. Magnitude obviously changes. So this way, multiplication of scalar to a vector can be explained in this manner. These are the things which explain the variation of the vector with the multiplication. Now next let us talk about the product of multiplication of a vector with another vector. Vector with another vector. Multiplication of a vector with another vector. Now how you can study this? This is again of two types. Vector can be multiplied to another vector to yield two results. Vector multiplied with vector can yield a scalar, or vector multiplied with a vector can yield a vector. Right? So, but when you multiply scalar to a scalar, the answer is always scalar. But when vector is multiplied to a vector, the result can be either scalar or it can be even a vector. Both possibilities. There are two possibilities of product of vectors. Whenever two vectors are multiplied, then the result can be a vector or a scalar. So according to the nature of the product, then according to the result that is produced, Based on that, the product is explained there. Okay, and the division of scalar is valid operation. Scalar by scalar is a valid operation, but scalar by vector is not a valid operation. Similarly, vector by vector is also not a valid operation. You can never divide anything by a vector, because vector is always associated by direction, right? You cannot divide anything by direction and explain when a vector in the direction associated quantity is in the denominator. You cannot explain it. It is undefined. So the vector in the denominator is undefined. But vector by scalar is possible. Vector by scalar is a valid operation. Force by charge, force by mass, displacement by time. Velocity is equal to displacement by time. Velocity is displacement by time. It's a valid operation. Vector by scalar is a vector. You can divide vector by scalar, but you can never divide scalar by a vector. You cannot divide anything by a vector. Vector can never be in the denominator. Vector is always associated with the direction. So the direction associated quantity cannot be in the denominator, and you cannot define it. It is undefined. So only product is explained. So a vector can be multiplied to a vector to give a scalar, and a vector can be multiplied to give a vector. Now if vector and vector is multiplied to give a scalar, then this is called scalar product of vectors, or it is called as dot product of vectors. Well, it is represented as dot product of vectors like this. When the product of two vectors yields a scalar, if the product of two vectors gets a scalar, then this is called dot product of vectors or scalar product of two vectors. Similarly, the product of two vectors, if it yields a vector, then it is called vector product of two vectors or cross product of two vectors. Well, the symbol here is cross. Same multiplication. Here the symbol is associated as dot and this is cross. This is just a convention. It's been framed like that, that's all. Right? So, dot product yields a scalar and cross product yields a vector. This is cross product or vector product. This is dot product or scalar product. Scalar product always yields a scalar. Vector product yields a vector. So this way we will find out the multiplication of the vector. So first let us take up the scalar product of two vectors or the dot product. Scalar or dot product of two vectors. Scalar or dot product of two vectors. Let us understand what happens in this one. Scalar or dot product of two vectors like this. Consider two vectors A bar and B bar. Two vectors A bar and B bar. Well, let's suppose I am representing starting from point O with an angle theta like this. Two vectors A bar and B bar. Now I am asked to find out the dot product of these two vectors. So the dot product of two vectors, dot product of two vectors. Now this is represented as A bar dot B bar. It's A bar dot B bar. The dot product of two vectors A bar dot B bar, it is mod A bar times mod B bar times the cos of the angle between the vectors. The dot product of two vectors is defined as, the dot product of the scalar vector of two vectors is defined as the product of the multiplication of the magnitudes of the vectors and the product, and it is multiplied to cosine of the angle between the vectors. Whenever when you take the angle, how do you take the angle? Angle is always taken when the two vectors are starting from same point. Co-initial. So I am representing these two vectors as co-initial vectors. Starting from same point. The vectors which possess same initial point are called co-initial vectors. Now between that there are two angles. This is smaller angle, this is bigger angle. Interior, exterior. Now you have to take the interior angle, the smaller angle. Right? So representing the vectors as co-initial vectors, then the interior angle, the smaller angle between these two. Now this is the angle between vectors. Now the scalar product or dot product of vectors is defined as the product of the magnitudes of the vectors and cosine of the angle between the two vectors. Cosine of the angle between the two vectors. So therefore a bar dot b bar is mod a mod b cos theta. This is the formula. Well, the result, this is a scalar, it has only units. Scalar, this final result, it has magnitude units but has no direction. It has no direction. Even if it has direction, it has no significance, no importance. So the dot product of two vectors is the product of the magnitudes of the vectors and cosine of the angle between the vectors. So a dot b is mod a mod b cos theta.